You know that feeling when you're lying at bed in the nighttime, you're staring at the ceiling, wondering why your business isn't going faster than it is right now, like in a quicker way, when you know in your bones that you are truly, genuinely meant for more. You know that you're good at what you do. You know that you should be making more money, and yet here you are in a plateau at the same income level, month after month after month. Maybe you've been telling yourself, well, once I get another client, once I have one more, once I have more proof, once my marketing really takes off and I have all of these things going on, then I'll be ready to play bigger. Then I'll be doing all the big things. I see you. I have absolutely been you. And today, I'm going to tell you something that's going to change everything for you, because what if I told you that waiting for that external proof and that evidence of everything working is exactly the thing that's keeping you feeling like things are not working at the level that you want? What if I told you that the reason that you've plateaued has nothing to do with your marketing strategy, your sales skills, or even your offer? What if I told you that I went from making $43,000 a year to making that basically every single month in my business, and it wasn't because I worked harder or implemented some magical new funnel that nobody has told you about just yet? So in today's episode, I'm going to share with you something that most coaches won't really tell you about truly scaling your online coaching business. And I want to warn you, this might trigger some of you at first. It might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It might challenge everything that you've been taught about growing your business and mindset and energy and all of these different things. And that is the truth. But this is the exact shift that allowed me to be able to hit multiple 100K months in my business, attract the most amazing clients you could ever imagine every single month with ease, build my business while being really present for my 3 little girls, creating a feeling and a sense of true abundance and flow in everything that I do. And the best part of all of this is that once you understand this, everything in your life just becomes easier. Your marketing works better, your sales become easier, your clients get better results, your income naturally keeps on growing. So if you're ready to discover what's really keeping you stuck at your current income level and you want to learn exactly what you need to do to shift that, I want you to keep listening. So here's the thing. I want to be really real with you about what most people actually are missing out here, because your external reality is very honestly a super direct reflection of your internal state. Let me say that again, because I think that this is really important and crucial. Your external reality, like what's going on, is a very direct reflection of what is going on inside of you. And I know that this might sound woo-woo, all the things, I don't care. But after working with hundreds of clients and building my own business from 40K a year to consistently generating 40K every single month and more, I can tell you that this is absolutely true. So let me explain what's actually happening. When you're focused on what is missing, you're constantly checking your calendar for calls booked, or you're refreshing your inbox for responses, or you're obsessing over your bank account. You're living in that energy of not enough yet. You're actually creating more of that reality, that feeling of it's never enough. And I know this because I literally lived this myself. I remember being stuck at 15, 20K per month in my business, constantly hustling and implementing endless marketing strategies. I was doing all the things. I was running ads, I was creating content, I was hosting webinars, I was taking on sales calls, I was following up with leads. I was doing all the work, but I was doing all of that from a place of fear. From a place of, I need this thing to work. From a place of, why is this not happening faster? Like I always felt like it wasn't moving fast enough. I felt like I was drowning in a way. And so the more that I pushed from that energy, the harder that everything really felt, until one day I realized I truly had to shift my inner state first. Instead of obsessing over what wasn't working, I was, or thinking about pushing harder from lack, or instead of waiting for this external proof, I had to become a match for what I desired, for the type of people that I wanted to attract. So let me kind of give you an example of what this really looked like. So for example, last year we hit multiple 100K months in my business, but what has been really interesting about this process for me is that that didn't happen because I worked harder or I implemented a new strategy or a new thing. Honestly, I didn't do anything different. It was because I finally stopped really conditioning my success on these external factors. I honestly just started showing up as if it was already done. I trusted that my success was genuinely inevitable. And I led from abundance instead of lack in everything that I do. And because of that, things just started to change. But here's what's really crucial that I really think that you really need to understand. This isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or repeating affirmations or like manifesting from your mind or something like that. It's not about ignoring your current reality either, but it's about really shifting your energy first, about becoming the person who has the thing that you already want and basically leading from that place. Like that is kind of it. And let me kind of break down exactly how you can do this, right? So the first thing is that you need to recognize when you are operating from lack or where. Are you constantly checking those stats? Are you refreshing that calendar every single day? Are you making decisions based off of fear and you're holding back until you have more proof, right? Like these are all signs that you're trying to control outcomes from a place of lack, not from a place of power, right? So this is why some people can have a calendar full of sales calls booked, but nobody is going to enroll in those. Or you can create a ton of content, like endless amount of content, but you're not getting any engagement or DMs from anybody wanting to work with you. You can work harder than anybody else that you know, but still feel stuck in the same place. And you're implementing all of these strategies, but you're not seeing results. And the reason is that the energy behind your actions matter more than the actions themselves. And until you recognize where you're operating from a place of lack, unfortunately, you're going to create more of the same results. This is why I always tell my clients, before we even look at their messaging and their marketing, you need to check in with your energy. Like, that is it. Are you really showing up from honesty? Because if you're creating content from lack and you're selling from lack and you're showing up from lack and fear and you're doing it and you're like, I hope that this works. Well, that's exactly what you're going to attract. So the second thing is that you need to understand that your current results are just old energy reorganizing itself. And it's probably one of the most important mindset shifts that you can make in your life and in your business, because right now, your bank account, your client roster, your results, they're not your current reality. And I know it's weird, but this is just true. They're just evidence of your past thoughts, your beliefs, and your energy catching up with you. So what I mean with this is, like, if you're boiling water on the stove, for the longest time, it seems like absolutely nothing is actually happening, right? Like, you're seeing that water, it looks exactly the same from the outside. There's no visible changes, right? There's no evidence that anything is shifting. But if you stick your finger in that water, it's probably gonna be pretty hot. It will probably burn you, right? Because changes are happening the entire time, but you just could not see them. It's like going to the gym every day and you're like, where are my abs? Well, it's happening underneath the surface, right? And that is exactly what's very likely happening in your business right now. You might be showing up from a completely different place, or creating from abundance and leading with power and taking aligned action and doing all the right things. And yet that external reality is still going to look the same. The numbers don't necessarily shift immediately. The clients are not flooding in. So that evidence isn't there, but you need to believe that it is shifting. And that is where most people will give up. That's where they're going to say, this is not working. And they're going to go back to their old ways. But what they don't even realize is that they're giving up right before the breakthrough will actually happen for them, right? And so this is where you need to stay really stronger in your mindset and understanding that things are changing. So in my case, when I first started shifting how I showed up in my business and moving from like that place of hustle and like I have to get everything done to a place of true abundance, nothing changed right away. Like, my bank account was the same. It showed the same numbers. My calendar wasn't magically like full with everybody saying, I have $50,000 to spend my business. So the external proof wasn't there. But what I did is that instead of looking at my current reality and saying, oh, it's not working, like clearly this isn't it, I really started telling myself, this is my old reality reorganizing itself. Like, that's it. Changes are happening underneath the surface. I might not see it, but it is already changing. My new reality is already in motion right now. And what happened is that within weeks, things started to shift. I had new clients coming, actually almost within days, right? Better opportunity showed up. Money just really started flowing in a way that felt easier. Not because I was working harder or because I implemented some new cool strategy, but because I stayed committed to my new energy, even when I could not see the results just yet. Like, I was focused on what I knew was real, right? And so that's what I tell my clients. You have to become unshakable in that energy, right? That is really at the core. So you really need to shift and how you operate in your own business. And instead of thinking, well, I'm going to invest when I get another client, you have to choose to make an investment in yourself, because that's what successful people do. Obviously, as long as it's something that is safe for you, right? Never putting yourself in a position of putting yourself in trouble, right? So instead of thinking, I need this launch to work right now, you say, well, I'm building momentum no matter what, whether I make a sale or not. Instead of wondering, why are things not working faster? You choose to believe that everything is unfolding perfectly, like exactly how it needs to. So let me give you a specific example of how that can show up. When I launched my business in 2016, I made $43K that entire first year. But in 2018, I started making $40,000 in my business every month. Now, from there, I had my 15K dip and things changed. But once I was able to really overcome these internal shifts, not the messaging necessarily or the marketing or the mindset, but it was really my inner state. And I changed how I showed up. Everything changed on the outside as well. It was really about who I was being. So that is why some people can have the perfect funnel and still struggle. Like, you can follow the ideal strategies out there and still feel like you're in a plateau, or you're working harder than anybody else and you're still kind of stuck, because it's not about these external actions that you're taking. It's about the energy behind those actions. So in terms of implementing this into your own business and your life right now, I want to tell you like a little bit about what I like to do in my own life. I like to make sure that I start each day from a place of abundance. Before checking my email and looking at my calendar and doing all the things, I connect to instant gratitude and feeling what abundance literally feels in my body, right? So I take a few minutes, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 15, but I take a few minutes to really connecting to the feeling of what I desire. I don't do like visualization. I know that these things do work, but I don't do them for myself. But I think about, how do I make decisions from my future self? And I ask myself, like, what would the version of me making whatever amount of money do right now, right? And then I try to do that. But even if it's uncomfortable, right? It's about really releasing the need to control outcomes. At the end of the day, your only job is to trust that God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, has your back, right? You're taking aligned action and you're not waiting for proof to show up as the leader that you already know that you are. And you want to basically focus on what's working instead of obsessing over what's not working, celebrating and amplifying what already is, and just accepting the situation, because the truth is that money doesn't go where it's needed. It goes where it is welcomed, right? Success is not going to come to you from just pushing harder. It's going to come from you becoming a match for what it is that you truly desire in your life right now. So this is why some of the clients that I work with will make their investment back within days of joining my program. It's not because they implemented something within minutes. It's because they shifted that internal state. And because of that, things on the outside started to shift for them as well. They're not giving themselves, like waiting for something to give them permission. They're playing bigger right now. They're shifting that state first. So you're becoming a match to your desires, and that external reality then just follows. So if you want to know how to shift your internal state so that you can attract more ready to invest clients, what I want to do is invite you to hop on a quick 15-minute brand message assessment where I'm going to help you identify how through your messaging, how through what you're showing on the outside, you can make sure that you're becoming a better match for the people that you want to bring in. Go to brandmessagesession.com right now to book that call. You can find that link underneath this video, audio episode, whatever it is that you're at. And make sure that you subscribe and follow me on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and follow me at Fabi Paolini on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the different places. And let me know in the comments below, what shift are you ready to make in your business right now? and in your inner state. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I can't wait to see you next episode.